Welcome to this week's Bushel Up. We're coming to you from Aurora. We got a nice little shower this morning. We're hoping to go out in the field a little further, but kind of want to talk about just where we're at on corn development here. You know, we're probably about 50% tasseled across the area as I look at it out here at Aurora. Our later field planted in May, about May 8th, 10th time frame. We've got some tassels out on the shorter season, just starting to initiate some silks, just starting to get the pollen shed. The fuller season, we're still waiting for a few tassels to poke through and initiate pollen shed there. For us, we like going right at tassel time with that fungicide, insecticide application. I want to minimize any silk clipping that I can. I don't want the beetles to get out. I'm seeing a few rootworm beetles out here. Fortunately, not a lot on Japanese beetle pressure, but one thing about Japanese beetles, they're dessert feeders is what I call them. You'll see them in bean fields first. They love those tender trifoliates that are coming out. Then typically they'll move to cornfields. They love silks. Sometimes they'll hang out in the tassel, kind of eat on that pollen a little bit. But then when they see the tender silks, they'll hit them. Rarely do they ever hit brown silks because they try to find those fresh silks. So those are the ones we don't want clipped. So we'll get that fungicide, insecticide application on here probably in a day or two. Also looking at adding BMO. We love the fact that, you know, boron right now just helps with pollen viability. We're trying to help with that nitrogen location in the plant, just making a more efficient plant. So that'll be our mix. Pretty simple, pretty straightforward. When we look at our soybeans here, you know, I pulled some up at Central City just to bring down. You can see we have quite a few pods starting to fill at the bottom. You know, as we move up the plant, we're still initiating, you know, got some smaller pods here, and then we have clusters where we're still initiating flowering. So really encourage you to take a look at fungicide on soybeans. You know, R3, which would be a couple weeks from now, is a traditional time frame. We like to hit our beans. We've already put fungicide on these beans. We'll come back with a later application. What I really like to check on beans right now is nodulation. You can see we've got just tremendous nodulation here. Very happy with our seed treatment package and our inoculants, what's going on here. Starting to slough a few bottom leaves off, not a big fan of that, but again, we've been kind of wet, waterlogged here. I can't believe that it's actually raining, considering what we dealt with this spring and early part of this growing season. So definitely be keeping the water to beans. There's a lot going on in the soybean plant right now. BMO is a good option. We still like Acura as a micronutrient package, just trying to give a little extra boost to those beans. If you're a guy that can fertigate some soybeans and you got a crop that looks really good, you know, we're going to be fertigating both corn and soybeans here, trying to just make sure we hit those windows with our nitrogen when that crop needs it. So those are some options to look at, but I do encourage you, a fungicide on soybeans is a great option. Make sure you throw the insecticide in. We put Indigo out on these soybeans 10 days ago and they're staying clean. It's a great product. It gives you that residual. We put Stewart out on some corn. If you're worried about length of residual, those are great options that have worked very well for us. I'm very happy with performance. So look at those. Finally, Western bean cutworm. The flights have picked up. Obviously, these rainy, stormy weathers make it really hard as that kind of suppresses some of the moth flight and some of the trap activity we see. But we are finding them consistently in fields, so keep an eye on that. In closing, we'll have an additional video attached to this. A new product that's been out a couple years that we've been working with Nutritia. Just a potential solution for certain situations. If you have an opportunity to push yield on a field, it might be something you want to consider here in the next couple of weeks. So with that, everybody stay safe. We'll definitely keep the rain coming. We do want the sunshine, though. It's kind of hitting a period where the rain's great, but we need the solar radiation during the day. So today looks like a great day. Rain in the morning, sun all day. We'll take it, and hope the good Lord keeps giving us more days like this.